Hey, everybody, welcome back to 22 Panels. This is the podcast that aims to examine, explore, and elevate the medium of comics. I am Tyler, and I'm finally better. I don't have a sore throat, or a cough, or a stuffy nose. And across the interwebs, from me is Tad. Hey, Tad, how's it going?
I am doing pretty good.
Good.
Doing pretty good. Can't complain. I went up to Milwaukee and Lion's Tooth today.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite little comic shops. And some other places that didn't have. Well, actually, I was at a used bookstore that had a lot of cool trade paperback type stuff
Okay.
and hardcovers. Um, yeah,
I
yeah, it was
last
a nice day.
weekend, I was in Morris, Minnesota at this uh well, mom and pop comic store, and I happened to find a copy of the first appearance of Jubilee. Uh,
Nice.
yeah, not worth terribly much, but it's kind of a rare one. So that was kind of fun.
Man, yeah, you know me. I still don't understand why first appearances are big deals.
I love
So
them.
often they're dumb for the first appearance.
They are bad. Like they're not
I mean,
even
the
good
first appearance
stories.
of Wolverine kind of sucks. No
Yeah.
offense.
Well, you're right. You're right. It was a bad encounter with Hulk. They never anticipated the character to go anywhere. Um,
Right?
I think Len Wein
And
was
that's no
like,
offense to what Len Wein and
"Yep,
and
Len
I
Wein."
forget who else. They do great work, but that was not one of their stellar issues.
I
And
agree.
and and it certainly wasn't like Wolverine that we know and love yet.
No, no, not even in look and style, right? And so,
Right.
oh well.
Um,
Um, so when we
I
were
mean, I
talking,
get like the first appearance of Spider-Man.
right?
That's a brilliant comic.
It was good.
That's
Amazing
one of the
Fantasy.
best
Yeah.
Spider-Man comics ever written.
Yep. Agreed.
I mean, it legitimately is good. But then there's a crap ton of great Spider-Man comics
Mm-hmm.
that you can get like 100 of them for the price of the first appearance of the black costume.
That's true.
And I would way rather that you read 100 good Spider-Man comics.
Than the black costume one.
That I mean, depending on which one you consider the first appearance of the black costume, they're both pretty good too. But like, yeah,
In my opinion, the black costume first appeared in the Marvel team. Was it a Marvel team ups thing? Uh, where they were in space.
it was created in Secret Wars,
Secret Wars.
but
That's what it was. Secret Wars. Yep.
I think it actually appeared in either Web of Spider-Man or Amazing Spider-Man before that issue of Secret Wars.
Oh.
So it had one of those wonder where the costume comes from. Don't miss issue 8 of
Okay. Okay. I didn't
Secret
realize. I
Wars.
didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah.
Web of Spider-Man #1 was
Um,
probably where it was then.
that's a great. I have that issue. That's a great issue.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think mine's worth a lot because I've had that issue since like it came out.
Yeah. That's probably the first appearance of the black
And
costume.
if it's bagged and boarded at all, it wasn't until like 10 or 15 years after it came out.
And it was just in a pile in your house.
Right. Or,
Yeah.
or, or in a cardboard box piled with comics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
get it. I had tons of those. Mine were X-Men and
So,
Batman, but yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Speaking
So,
of speaking of
let's
Batman,
do some news
yeah,
on this baseball podcast.
on this
I
baseball
mean,
podcast.
even Beats 50 Best is from one of our baseball buddies, Heidi McDonald.
Yes. So the Beat recently put out an article.
It's a good list. It's
Yeah,
a good list.
a list of the
I, I
50.
I think I've read about 2/3 of them, and I like kind of want to try to read the rest by the end of the year. I don't think I will,
Yeah.
but it's like, ooh, that looks good, and that looks good, and I got my own list to make, and every year I want to manage to read more books before I make my list than I do.
Same. And one of the
This is a
books,
good list.
well, one of the books that I love that's on here is Absolute Batman. And
Yeah.
then one of the ones that I want to read is I mean, this is alphabetical, like you said, but is Attaboy. I have not read Attaboy from Mad Cave. I thought that one looked great.
Yeah, I liked that one. I read that. Eve Ewing's Black Panther run was great. I need to read Blurry. I love Dash Shaw.
Mm-hmm.
Actually looked at that at the comic shop today and decided, no, I'm not buying for me.
Yeah.
Boy Wonder was really good.
Yeah, I love Junie Bond.
I mean, you go down this list, and the ones I've read are great. The ones I haven't read are on my radar. Even the Cobra Commander, that it bothers me that it's on my radar.
That G.I. Joe book. That's funny.
Right. Not just a G.I. Joe book, a G.I. Joe villain book.
Oh, Cobra Commander. Yeah. That is funny.
That's like double, like, not the type of stuff I want to do most of the time.
Have you read Dumbass before?
Einstein and Kafka Land was great. I need to read Final Cut.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one I feel like I managed to miss it. The Absolute Fool, or the Fool of the Absolute Madwoman.
Yeah.
From Vivian Nguyen, or Vivian Nguyen, Shortbox Comic Fair, and I somehow missed it because I feel like that cover alone would have made me buy it from the Shortbox Comics Fair if I, though I also feel like I was kind of broke during October and didn't buy as many things from the Shortbox Comics Fair. For everybody who doesn't know, and we should make a bigger deal out of it every year, is every October Shortbox, which used to do print comics and whatnot, but kind of became hard. They weren't making enough money to be able to continue doing that. So when they shut that down, what they shifted to is, for the month of October every year, they have a digital online fair where they curate a set of books to sell exclusively digitally during that month. Creators retain all the rights so they can sell them later or whatnot, though at least right now it doesn't look like Vivian is selling this yet.
Okay.
Because I went looking for it.
Couldn't find it.
But yeah, so every October there's just a selection of, a really good curated selection of like indie digital comics available for sale at the Shortbox Comics Fair. We need to remember to make a bigger deal out of that every year.
Okay.
But yeah, this is a really good list. The ones see, this one's only had 2 come out.
Oh yeah, Godzilla.
This one had the second one come out this week.
Okay. Yeah.
Godzilla Monster Piece Theater, also really good. Helena Windhorn made the list.
Mm-hmm.
Haunted Trot's another one that I need to see or need to go read. Houses of the Unholy was great. In Utero, it came out in January, and I've been meaning to read it all year. Jellyfish was great from Pow Pow. Yeah. It's a Library Mule of Cordoba I loved. Loving Ohio I loved. Yeah.
Cool.
Maple Terrace I loved.
Yeah, so it's definitely a good list.
Tyler Moorhawk. We're like halfway through the list here, and just how many minor arcana. My favorite thing is Monsters too. The Nasty made the list. I was really happy to see that.
Yeah, good job, John.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
So yeah, if you just want a great list of comics that came out this year, and you're not ready to wait for hours, which I don't promise will be a great list, but I feel pretty good about it. Hit the beat.
Mm-hmm.
Hit the beat.
Check it out.
They've got a really, really, really good list of stuff.
Yeah. All right. Now on to baseball news.
That's right.
Yeah. Let's get
As a
back
Cubs
to
fan, I am very happy to welcome Kyle Tucker to our hallowed right field, the right field of Seiya Suzuki, who will DH more now because Kyle's here. The right field of Kosuke Fukudome, and the right field of Sammy Sosa, and the right field of my personal favorite Andre Dawson, is now going to be the domain of former Astro and superstar baseball player Kyle Tucker, and I'm very happy about that.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I mean,
I am.
I don't
Go
follow
ahead.
I don't follow
You have no
baseball,
idea what I'm talking
but
about.
I know
You're
how
like I
excited you
don't
are.
know any of those
I
names.
love not true. I know Andre Dawson. But I love how
Okay.
I love how excited you are. So I know it must
Yeah.
be a good thing.
Right. Um, and in much, much, much less happy news,
And I
it
know
was
this player.
announced
I know
yesterday.
who Ricky is.
Yeah, it was announced yesterday, a couple days shy of his 66th birthday. He would have been 66 on Christmas Day.
Oh wow.
That we lost the greatest leadoff hitter of all time. Frankly, one of the greatest baseball players, period, of all time. Chicago native, grew up in Oakland, got to play a lot of his career in Oakland. Ricky Henderson, cause of death, I don't think has been announced yet.
Hmm.
I do want to go. Craig Calcaterra does the Cup of Coffee newsletter. We've followed forever and correspond with from time to time and
Hmm.
could pop up on this show someday.
Right.
He's been invited a couple of times. He just hasn't been able to. Doesn't normally write on weekends, but he took a moment to write about Ricky, including excerpting something from Mike Piazza's memoir from 2013 that he excerpts every year. For people who don't understand or don't know about baseball money related things, they don't actually get paid for the playoffs. What they get is they get playoff shares,
Uh-huh.
which a certain amount of the gate from each of the required playoff games. So if it's a best of three series, it's the first two games. If it's a best of five series, it's the first three games. If it's a
Right.
best of seven series, it's the first four games. That sort of thing.
Hmm.
Certain percentage of the box office from all of those games will be put into a pool that's then split between the playoff teams, with the world champions getting the most, but every team getting something. And then the teams themselves decide how to split the money out, you know,
Yeah.
where where the players that are actually on the playoff rosters pretty much automatically get a full share, but the people that the players get to propose and vote on giving either full shares, partial shares, or cash disbursements to other players that played for the team that year,
Hmm.
clubhouse attendants,
Hmm.
travel secretaries, anybody involved with the team,
Right.
right?
Yep.
I mean, I want to say the 2016 Cubs actually gave out 140 full shares,
Wow.
something like that.
That's
Right.
crazy.
So, with that in mind, Mike wrote, Ricky was the most generous guy I ever played with. And whenever the discussion came around to what we should give one of the fringe people, whether it was a minor leaguer who came up for a few days or the parking lot attendant, Ricky would shout out, full share. We'd argue for a while and he'd say, fuck that. You can change somebody's life.
That's true. You could.
I mean, because particularly like a world championship team, even if they wind up split, I mean, the Cubs split it 140 different ways, and like a full share was still like $800,000.
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
yeah, they could have made it a million plus for each person and not given it to as many, but
About 800 will change someone's life.
800,000 is life changing money to a guy who's a lifetime minor leaguer and never really plays in the big leagues. 800,000 is really life-changing money to like the clubhouse attendant or the parking lot attendant or
Yeah.
any number of people that are around them and make their lives easier all day or all season long.
Hmm.
So I always have loved that story about Ricky. He was larger than life, uh, which obviously always rubs some people the wrong way, particularly black men when they like have confidence and think highly of themselves and can deliver on that confidence and how highly they think of themselves.
Right.
It often doesn't go over well.
Hmm.
But Ricky came from like nothing. And it's pretty clear that he never lost track of that. And Ricky loved to play baseball long after he needed to play baseball. You know, he made a lot of money in his life, but he wanted to play until he was like 45. And his last two seasons, you know, when he couldn't get major league jobs at the beginning of the season, he went and played an independent minor league ball until he played long enough that they went, oh, he can still play and we could really use him off the bench.
Right.
He signed like mid-season 2 years in a row after playing for the New York Bears to start those seasons.
Wow.
You know,
Hmm.
yeah, he was larger than life. Yeah, I'm certain that he wasn't always easy to be around, but he was always seemed to have fun. And he's one of the greatest ball players that I've ever gotten the privilege to actually watch play in person.
Right.
I mean, and I didn't even get to see him at his prime. In his early years, I mean, first of all, you know, not only could he hit and hit for power, you know, he'd take a walk. He led the league in walks half the time, except that you walked Ricky, and half the time that meant it was a triple
Hmm.
because you'd walk him, he'd steal second, he'd steal third. You know, in his first full season, he broke the American League record for stolen bases that had been set by Ty Cobb in like 1911.
Right.
You know, it was his
Yeah.
second or third full season that he broke the major league record for stolen bases. Lou Brock's 119, a record that had stood for like 37 years, right?
Hmm.
And it was his 11th season. In his 11th season, he passed Lou Brock's 900 some odd stolen bases to become the all-time leading stolen base getter. He get 500 more in his career. He's got 1,400 plus stolen bases. And Lou Brock is still in second. And Ty Cobb is still in third.
Wow.
You know, yeah, base stealing goes in and out of fashion, and that's part of it. But just like nobody did it better than Ricky, and and also to be able to steal that many bases, you got to get on base all the time, and he got on. I mean, I put up on Mark Chiarillo put his picture of Ricky from his 100 ball players book that he did during the pandemic on
Yeah.
Kickstarter
Yep.
up on his Instagram.
Okay.
And I responded to it with my favorite Ricky slash line, which is actually from his last season. And he batted like 250 something, but with a 380 on base percentage and 30 stolen bases. So it's like, yeah. And, you know, people were thinking, oh, he's washed up because he's like a 250 hitter, blah,
Right.
you know.
Right.
I think the year before he'd been like a 219 hitter, but
Uh-huh.
he was still getting on base almost 40% of the time.
Okay.
And once he was on base, he was as likely to score as not.
Right.
You know, I forget what the number is, but like I want to say right after he retired or right before he went into the Hall of Fame, something like that. Somebody did a study of like numbers of time on base versus numbers of times they scored.
Okay.
And like his percentage of scoring is like 10 or 15 percentage points ahead of anybody else with more than 5,000 plate appearances.
Wow. Wow.
You know,
Right.
but that again, it's because first of all, he could hit with power too. He had 300 plus leadoff home runs.
Right.
He could hit doubles and triples. But if you walked him, there was a better than average chance that he was going to be on third before you knew it. So, like, walk Ricky, watch him steal second, watch him steal third, watch him score on a ground out.
True. Yep.
You know, I mean, that was like a regular occurrence. So when you're on base 40% of the time and you do that, I mean, he was just a super valuable baseball player and super fun to watch, and is gone way too soon.
Right. You said he was
Way too soon.
66?
He would have been 66 on Christmas Day.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, that is not old.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
So, like, in this year, we've lost not only two of the greatest outfielders of all time, in Ricky and Willie Mays, but both, you know, Bay Area legends. So, yeah.
That's crazy.
Not an easy year for baseball fans.
No, it's
Though
not.
obviously, you know, go back and listen to our baseball roundtable. Mets fans are riding high right now.
Right.
And yes, Heidi, I forget if this is since last week or not. Heidi's wish for the season from our baseball roundtable has come true. Juan Soto is a Met. Yeah. So.
Well,
But we can go back to being a comics podcast now.
All right, sounds good. This is where we are going to talk about our new to order this month. Right about here is where I'll have a drop.
Is my screen still shared?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, the thing that says that it's shared isn't visible to me right now. So there we go.
Yeah.
So I was having trouble telling.
Yeah. Yep. I can see what you've got up on the screen.
Because my stupid toolbar won't go away.
Okay. Well.
So, all righty.
Here
you go.
Can you scroll? There we go. We're talking about the Amazing Spider-Man being rebooted again. It just did like 2 years ago. What is Marvel thinking? Anyway, this time it's going to be helmed by Joe Kelly with art by John Romita Jr. And
Joe Kelly's on the book already. Looked like they're doing like the 8 deaths of Peter Parker. I haven't been reading it, but I looked at it when I saw this. So stuff to look at.
I have a huge pile that I have yet to catch up on, so I'm not sure who's on it or who's not.
No, I know Joe Kelly took over a little bit ago.
Okay, so now they're gonna relaunch after the 8 deaths. I've yet to start that. So
Something like that.
Okay, and then
in fact, there's like a Spider-Man issue.
Yeah,
I think there are 5 Spider-Man issues in this previews catalog.
Okay.
There's one for each week in May or in March, and then the April 9th Amazing Spider-Man #1.
Okay. Interesting.
So,
well, anyway, alive and thwipping, the next era of Amazing Spider-Man has arrived. Peter is shockingly without a job and looking for gainful employment. But his job search is interrupted by a rampaging rhino who is but the tip of a sinister iceberg. What major Spider-Man villain is working behind the scenes, weaponizing other Spider villains, including one we haven't seen in over 7 years? Also, what is Goblin-free Norman Osborn up to anyway? This is going to be in shops April 9th. Looks interesting. I can't wait to read it.
Looks cool.
I can't wait to catch up.
Joe Kelly does Spider-Man. Assorted crisis events from Dennis Camp and Eric Zawadzki, something like that, from Image Comics. and a time book from what was his other time book? I forget. It was at Scout Comics. We talked Agents of World.
Yes.
Remember?
Yep.
So I'm looking forward to this. Time is having a crisis. Mingling in the red light district, you can find actual cavemen, medieval knights, and cyborg soldiers on leave from World War IV. Victorian debutantes amble their way into cell phone stores, confused and bewildered. What is a data plan? On their way to work, bleary-eyed commuters get trapped in time loops, assaulted by alternate reality versions of themselves, and try to avoid post-apocalyptic wastelands. And look, the 315 bus just took a wrong turn into the Neolithic era. Rising stars Dennis Camp and Eric Zawadzki, and Eisner winners Jordi Belair and Hassan Atsmain El How are proud to present assorted crisis events, an ongoing zigzagging anthology series about the compromised clicks of our clocks full of one-shot stories, beautiful and ugly, tragic and redemptive, surreal and somehow all too familiar. In shops, March 12th.
I really like the
I'm a little upset
logo.
that they're saying that they're calling him a rising star.
I thought that too. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
Dennis
he's doing the Ultimates. He's doing Martian Manhunter and something else at DC. Dennis Camp has been like taking over the world.
Yeah,
he was a rising star last year when we talked to him.
I agree. I was just thinking that myself. I'm like, rising star, my ass.
I mean, maybe Zawadzki is. I haven't heard of him yet.
Right.
But yeah, Dennis Camp, I'm totally on board. Totally on board. Next one's for me too. Bitter Root, The Next Movement. 5-issue series starting in March 26th, just after my birthday. A lie built a house of oppression. The bitter truth will burn it down. It is 1964, the height of the civil rights movement. A group of activists have gone missing, and a new generation of the Sangari family must face a menace far worse than anything their ancestors ever encountered. The monstrous Jinnu creatures born out of hate and racism have evolved into a threat that few people are willing to acknowledge, and even fewer know how to fight. A bold new chapter in the epic saga of the multiple Eisner Award-winning series begins here. From David Walker, Chark Brown, and Sanford Green. In stores March 26th. This cover looks amazing.
Yeah, very 1970s feel to
the 64. It says right there.
I know, but the colors still make me feel like 70s, but yeah.
Fine.
64. Yep.
Just because you're old enough that you think of the 70s even when it's the 60s. 50s, 60s, 70s.
What does
What's
it
the
matter?
difference?
What's the difference? Cool.
It's old.
All right.
All righty. Here you
Dark
go.
Pyramid. This is a 5.
Paul Tobin. We like Paul Tobin.
Yeah.
I think he'll come up later.
5-issue. Number 1 here. Hooky Hidalgo, adventurous and popular live streamer, has gone missing while climbing Mount Denali in Alaska. When his girlfriend Becca arrives at the base of the mountain to retrace his steps, she soon discovers something beyond the dreamy and impressive landscape. There's a conspiracy deep within the heart of Denali itself, a dark pyramid, silent and waiting. Becca and the scores of Hooky fans determined to either find him or find some fun will face death, avalanches, and monsters to find the truth. This will be in shops March 12th, and this is Mad Cave.
Mad Cave Studios.
Yeah.
They continue to kill it. Paul Tobin's amazing. PJ Holden does good work.
Mm-hmm.
From 2000 AD fame. The Great British Bump Off, Kill or Be Quilt. And this might be somebody else that we're talking about more later. John Allison and Max Sarin, a new cozy mystery from Giant Days. John Allison and Max Sarin, following up on their hit baking murder mystery, The Great British Bump Off. Surely There is no vacation more drama-free than a boating holiday along the sleepy canals of Yorkshire. Oh, you'd think so. Sadly for Shauna Wickle, it's tough to escape poisonous small-town rivalries and sultry romantic entanglements when traveling at a steady 2 to 3 miles per hour. And to make things worse, she's about to find out how ruinously expensive a hastily tied knot can be. In shops April 9th.
Cool. Love the cover. I can't wait to see what the.
Yeah, I liked the first volume of the Great British Bump Off.
I haven't read it. I should definitely
It's good.
pick it up.
I have a feeling that we're going to be doing a lot more John Allison. He's been fun.
I think so. This has been really, yeah, it has been a lot of fun. All right. The Last Boy from Dan. Okay.
This book looks cool.
Panosian and
Dan Panosian.
Panosian and Alessio Avalon. Years after Peter Pan's adventures with Wendy Darling, the boy who wouldn't grow up is now the last one in Neverland, still clinging to his adventurous youth. Meanwhile, in London, Wendy also yearns for childhood and its freedom from responsibility as she rails against the transition to adulthood and her family's expectations. As their desires create a mirror of fantasy and reality, a disastrous encounter with the aging Captain Hook becomes the catalyst for Peter's realization that Neverland is growing up without him. But will the two of them find each other once again to carry on their age-old adventures? Or is this truly the final threshold of their adolescence in this modern take on a classic tale from legendary writer Dan Panosian and rising star artist Alessio Avalon? In shops March 19th. This looks awesome. I love the movie Hook. That was one of my favorite movies as a kid. I loved Peter Pan. I love the Disney Peter Pan stuff.
I'm a big Peter Pan fan.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Dave Barry co-wrote a series of Peter Pan novels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are great. Peter and the Starcatchers.
Okay.
Love it.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. They'd be good ones to read to
Terena.
Yeah.
She would love it.
Yeah. So, all right. Art Wars from Francis Deschamus at Pow Pow. In order to wage intergalactic warfare, aliens abduct all of Earth's artists. It turns out that the most powerful weapon in the universe is the violent beauty of art. Back on Earth, people don't seem to care about the disappearance of the planet's artistic types until they discover that you can't have nice consumer goods without creativity. While the abducted artists mastered the deadly potential of their craft, those left behind are learning the hard way that art isn't as useless as it seems, while listening to old CCR hits on repeat. A bold and clever experiment in comic minimalization told with only 10 repeating panels, Art Wars is imaginative and dead-on satire of culture and contemporary society. From Pow Pow in shops on March 12th.
I love the artwork for this. It looks so cool. The cover looks great.
Yeah. There's a preview up at Lunar. It looks pretty cool.
Yep. All right.
This is you.
Yep.
Me.
Game
This is you.
Masters from Fred Van Lente and Tom Fowler. Role-playing games like Dungeons & Dragons, in which players take the roles of heroes in their own story, have solidly moved from the geek fringes into the mainstream, beloved by celebrities and inspiring hit podcasts and massively successful sales in games, comics, and hobby shops. The story of the tabletop's triumph, and even in our digital age, begins in the day of actual sword-wielding warriors, leading right up to the fireball-casting avatars of today. In Game Masters, the comic book history of role-playing games, New York Times best-selling and award-winning comic creator Fred Van Lente and Tom Fowler takes you on an incredible journey from the mists of the past to the screen-lit present, showing not just how these games work and why we love them, but what they can tell us about ourselves. This will be in shops April 23rd, and can you scroll up? Who is this out by?
Clover Press.
Clover Press.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I ate the world to find you. From Drawn and Quarterly, Rachel Eng. A coworker turned prospective lover confesses a hard to swallow fetish. A train ride fantastically goes off the rails as old habits get dragged across the tracks. Cousins revisit summer holiday bliss. Or was it really horror? Exes fumble an attempt to reconnect over a dip in the pool on a squelching summer day, and an expectant mother slips into an unusual place as she embarks on a communion with her baby more pure than language can accommodate. I Ate the World to Find You maps the topography of trauma, treasures, and loss imposed onto the body of Jenny, a 20 something going on 30 something partial hot mess whose rooting her way more firmly into adulthood. As she navigates friendship, family, and romantic relationships, will her inability to communicate destroy her or ultimately be her rebirth? In stores April 9th.
So interesting.
It does.
Yeah, she's spilling a huge plate of food on the cover. It looks really crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Is this me?
I think so.
Okay. Only What's Necessary, Charles Schulz 75th Anniversary edition hardcover. Charles M. Schulz believed that the key to cartooning was to take out the extraneous details and leave in only what's necessary. For 50 years, from October 2nd, 1950 to February 13th, 2000, Schulz wrote and illustrated Peanuts, the single most popular and influential comic strip in the world. For Only What's Necessary, Charles M. Schulz and the Art of Peanuts, renowned designer Chip Kidd was granted unprecedented access to the extraordinary archives of the Charles M. Schulz Museum and Research Center in Santa Rosa, California. Reproducing the best of the Peanuts newspaper strip, all shot from the original art by award-winning photographer Jeff Spear, Only What's Necessary also features exclusive, rare, and unpublished original art and developmental work, much of which has never been seen before. In shops March 5th. This looks awesome.
It does. And coming up in January,
yeah,
we will make up for the great lost 22 panels episode and have another Charles Schulz discussion in the 22 panels comic strip club.
Yeah.
So coming soon.
If you don't know what we're talking about, you can go back. Wait a minute. You can't go back and listen. We lost the Charles Schulz episode.
From last October.
Yeah.
And by last October, I mean like a year ago.
October
2023.
Yeah, it's being made up. And so there's so much pressure riding on this episode not to be lost in the digital world.
Yeah.
Well.
Frustration.
Yep.
Tongues, Volume 1 from Anders Nilsson at Pantheon, set in a version of modern Central Asia. Tongues is a retelling of the Greek myth of Prometheus. It follows the captive god's friendship with the eagle who carries out his daily sentence of torture and chronicles his pursuit of revenge on the god that has imprisoned him. Prometheus's story is intertwined with that of an East African orphan on an errand of murder and a young man with a teddy bear strapped to his back, wandering aimlessly into catastrophe, a character readers may recognize from Nilsson's Dogs and Water. The story is set against the backdrop of tensions between rival groups in an oil-rich wilderness. Tongues is both an adventure story and a meditation on human nature in our present fraught historical moment. In stores March 12th.
It looks awesome. I love the name Tongues. Next up, You Belong Here from Sarah Phoebe Miller and Morgan Beam. It's the first day of senior year, and 17-year-old Essie Rosen is already over it. Her best friend went off to college and barely responds to her texts. Her brother's on the other side of the country in rehab, and every conversation with her mom becomes a fight, and her long-term boyfriend Bruno feels weirdly distant. Essie's counting down the days until she can escape her Long Island hometown and join her BFF at NYU, where she's sure she'll get into the acting program she's dreamed about for years. But when Essie gets dumped and botches her college audition, her entire trajectory changes. Instead of doing community theater, she ends up slumming it in the school play, where she's cast opposite the unexpectedly charming Christopher Sun, the younger brother of the drug dealer who got Essie's brother hooked. Is he perfect? Is he the perfect rebound or the worst decision Essie could make? This will be in stores March 5th from First Second.
Some collections new to order. We normally stick to volume ones, but rules are made to be broken. If you haven't read volume 1 of Black Cloak, you should buy that as well. And volume 2 of Black Cloak from Kelly Thompson and Meredith McLaren is in shops March 19th. Essex and Pack's last case brought horrible truths to light and almost leveled the city of Kiros. Now 5 years since the Essex fire, Kiros has changed dramatically, and ex-Black Cloak Phaedra Essex is either the city's greatest hero or its greatest villain, depending on who you ask. Meanwhile, Black Cloak Pax has a bloody new case, a rookie partner, and absolutely no leads. It's a very bad time for something ancient to have awakened beneath the city. Collects Black Cloak, numbers 7 through 11.
Cool.
From Image Comics.
Awesome. I have got here Exceptional X-Men from E-Viewing and Carmen Carnero. From the ashes of the Krakoan era, Kate Pryde finds her fresh purpose. After the fall of Krakoa, Kate Pryde is trying to get as far away from all things X as she possibly can. She's just a regular bartender now. She's not getting ready to head up an all-new team of wayward young mutants. Nothing in this title but work, dating, and starving off depression. That's it. No never before seen exceptional X-Men to see here, except Kate's continued attempts to living a normal non-mutant life go laughably wrong as she finds herself in the middle of a brawl started by a couple of headstrong teens with remarkable abilities, which, of course, they're terrible at controlling. She's sworn off being anybody's teacher, mentor, or professor, sensei, or anything that reminds her of her old life. But will the White Queen force her hand? This is collecting Exceptional X-Men number 1 through 5 from Marvel and will be in stores May 7th. Dun, dun, dun.
This has been fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love E-Viewing. I love Kitty Pryde.
Yeah.
Kate Pryde.
Kate, she wants
Plot Holes.
Yeah.
Volume 1 from Massive Comics. Sean Gordon Murphy, known for his groundbreaking series Batman White Knight, delivers an all-new tale of world-hopping adventure. The Plot Holes are a squad of fictional warriors who transport themselves into the pages of other books, using their unique skills to have the plots in order to stop them from being or to save the plots in order to stop them from being destroyed. And Cliff is their newest recruit, a comic creator who's just realized his world isn't real. In fact, it's a complete fiction that literally exists inside a novel. The other members are misfits like him, pulled from unpublished books that couldn't be saved. A manga samurai, a barbarian tiger, a kid from a comic strip, and a vampire assassin. Outclassed by the other members, Cliff sets out to prove his worth to the Plot Holes as they fight to save as many books as possible. In stores, March 19th. And definitely looks
well, I have
very
the first
cool.
issue of this. I should have kept going with it. I feel like I dropped off too soon.
Well, Massive doesn't. I mean, maybe Rainbow orders, but it Massive is one of those that if I don't manage to pre-order it, I just can never get. So I sometimes have to, and they don't have a real digital they were doing digital on Omnibus, but Omnibus went under.
Okay.
So like there's no way to just pick them up digitally in general.
Okay.
So
All right.
I don't
We
manage to read as many
got
of them as I would
Space
like.
Usagi from Stan Sakai and Emi Fuji. The Rabbit Ronin's classic adventures in space continue now in color. Taking place directly after the Space Usagi Death and Honor arc, Stan Sakai's second Space Usagi series sees Miyamoto Usagi continuing to defend the Shirahoshi clan in the far future from scheming rivals, the Kichitori. New friends like Space Pirate Rogan and new enemies led by Empress Amata are introduced in this miniseries, now colored by longtime collaborator Emi Fuji. This collection also includes new stories by Julie Sakai and Stan Sakai featuring Space Usagi's Akemi character. This collects Space Usagi White Star Rising 1 through 3 and will be in shops May 21st from Dark Horse. Looks pretty awesome. Next up is mine as well. Looks like we're going to be doing Toxic Avenger from Ahoy Comics. This is Matt Bors and Fred Harper. A 21st century reinvention of the classic movie animated series written by Pulitzer finalist Matt Bors. On the run from bullies, teenager Melvin Junko runs straight into a massive chemical waste spill that transforms him into a hideously deformed creature of superhuman size and strength, the Toxic Avenger. Featuring violent action, gross mutations, bursting pustules, and plenty of trenchant satire. This will be in shops April 2nd. Again, from Ahoy.
All right. Last collection. And this is where I'm going to quickly say you want to know all about this. Wednesday Comics being recollected this year. You can go back and check out our regular episodes 22 to 33 from April 10th to June 26th, 2022, where we looked at one issue of Wednesday Comics each week. With Great Power number 40 was with Mark Chiarello, who was the brains behind Wednesday Comics. On May 12th, 2022, and on July 2nd, 2022, we had the Wednesday Comics Roundtable where we had what, 5 or 6 people been involved in?
I think it was.
We had Ryan Sook and Clem Robbins and Dave McCaig, and I don't remember everybody right now. I'd have to go back and look.
Right.
So there are 14 Wednesday Comics episodes that you can go back and look at if you want to know what we're talking about, or if you pick up your Wednesday Comics in August and want to be able to go back and do the reading. The World's Greatest Heroes, The World's Greatest Comics, written by Brian Azzarello, Dave Gibbons, Neil Gaiman, Jimmy Palmiotti, Ben Caldwell, and others. Art by Eduardo Rizzo, Ryan Sook, Mike Allred, Amanda Connor, Sean Cheeks Galloway, Carl Kerschel, Joe Kubert, and others. Comics' finest creators tackled DC's most popular characters in this reinvention of the weekly newspaper comics section. A unique spectacle in modern entertainment, Wednesday Comics delivers a sprawling tabloid-sized reading experience bursting with mind-blowing color action and excitement. With 15 serialized stories, this oversized collection is perfect for readers seeking a fresh twist to a grand comics tradition. People not mentioned in there are Paul Pope and Kyle Baker. There were so many great contributors to this.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait. I can't believe it's not till August, and they're still listing it now. But
I think it got moved back.
Oh,
because like in the catalog, it has an earlier date, but by the time I was writing, it had already been moved back. But it's oversized, so I mean, this is not something that gets printed at their normal presses, etc. So like, it's not quite as simple of a
printing job.
Right.
No, I get it. It's going to be tough, and I can't wait to pick it up. This is going to be one that I'm going to Put
Yeah.
on the list right away.
I have my copy. I have all the originals too.
I know you do. Yeah.
Those are available cheap. You should look into ordering those.
Just finding them on the internet.
Yeah. I actually got all of mine together for
Oh.
like less than $30 for all 12 of them.
Oh.
So now we got some final order cutoff
Yeah.
for December 30th. The first is Backtrack Deluxe Edition hardcover from Oni Press, Brian Joins and Jake Elphick. Fast and the Furious meets Back to the Future in this high stakes car race through history. This was just a fantastic story. I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
It looks awesome.
Yeah. Next, and this is for those who like have been silly enough not to be reading along. The first volume of Galaxy of Madness from Magdalena Visacio and Michael Avon Oming in the far-flung thrilling future of the 41st century. And on the other side of the galaxy, a swashbuckling space archaeologist, Vigil Virgo, is on the cusp of learning a universe-shattering secret in this four-color fantasy. From Mad Cave, and I think it includes the first 5 issues, and will be in stores on January 22nd. This one I know you're excited for. Give Me Liberty, a revised history of the American Revolution from Gilbert Shelton, Ted Richards, Gary Hallgreen, Will Murphy from Fantagraphics Underground. 50 years ago, Gilbert Shelton from Zap Comics and Fabulous Furry Freak Brothers and Ted Richards, Air Pirates, and the 40-year-old hippie combined their talents to create a more or less accurate summary of the founding of the United States of America as it was never taught in school.
I like that, more or less accurate.
Yeah. Another one that feels up your alley, but also involves the writer of Jill and the Killers,
Yeah.
which is one of my favorite books from last year. Kill Train from Olivia Quartero Briggs and Martina Niosi. To control the population explosion that nearly crippled the city, New York has instituted Kill Train, a randomized extermination program where designated subway trains are picked at random and all passengers are slaughtered by the end of the line. First issue will be in stores also January 22nd.
It feels like a purge kind of thing, right? Where they're just like, you know what? You guys are going. See ya.
Remember, a final order cutoff is a week from Monday, January 30th. Murderberg. I've read a bunch of this, and we recently had Carol Lay on, and we talked about it. Murderberg, SIC, because it used to be Murderville, I think. A sleepy island town off the coast of Maine aims to maintain a quiet existence for their population of families, fishermen, craftspeople, and aging oddballs. But every so often, incursions from scheming outsiders require ex-gangster mayor Leo Scazzo and his loving wife and children to enact counter schemes in order to keep the peace for the other townsfolk. Collecting the complete run of short stories serialized as Murderville in the 2010s under one cover. This is a fun book and very Addams Family inspired, particularly the Mayor Scazzo.
Right.
Is definitely inspired by
Gomez.
by Gomez Addams.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then friend of the podcast,
Christopher
Sabella.
Yeah.
I'm pretty certain, because I feel like I have this.
Okay.
I think this was at a different press and or is being reprinted, but it's a good story and worth reading. Christopher Sabella, David Stoll, Haley and her brother Max are alone after their mother's death and are sent to Wayfair Academy, a special needs boarding school. Eventually, they find family amongst other deaf children. One night, the group decides to dip their toes into crime. The thrill is too much to leave behind. Will also be in stores on January 22nd. And finally, Raised by Ghost Brianna
This looks
Lowenson
really
from
cool.
Fantagraphics
I
Books.
love the artwork on
This will
this
be
one.
Yeah, this will be in stores on February 5th. Set in the author's own teenage years, raised by ghosts, begins in 1991 with semi-autobiographical Brianna in middle school. Classes are a bummer, but lunches are worse, either spent alone or being teased. Traditionally a good student, Brianna is not doing well in her academics, but keeps it a secret. Her parents, divorced, are a mess and largely absent. She spends a lot of time by herself. High school, she makes friends, and those connections are her only source of happiness as they help each other navigate adolescence. But life at home with each parent remains fraught. When her relationships at school begin to falter, she has no one to turn to, forcing Brianna to grapple with her sense of self worth, her longing for belonging, and her desire for authenticity in her relationships. So, yeah, this one looks very, very good.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Shall we talk? Oh, crowdfunding.
Yeah.
We still have Bone, the deluxe edition part 1, The Valley, from Jeff Smith at Cartoon Books through December 28th, and Heavy Metal #1 through on Kickstarter through December 29th. And then The Awakened from Alex Segura and Michael Morisi and Dean Kotz on Zoop through January 10th.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to definitely check out the Bone one. I have yet to help fund, but I'm definitely going to. So
It's a good one.
yeah. All right, jumping to our 3 amazing books, new books for this week. Tad, I had really a hard time coming up with my 3 books. There were so many good ones.
I went 9
I know.
and still cheated on the 9.
I know.
So you don't have to tell me.
I know. I'm going to start with Epitaphs from the Abyss, #6. God, this just...
Oh, yeah, that's the other impressive thing. I went 9, cheated on the 9, and despite the fact that I read all 3 of the books that you have up and enjoyed them all, none of them made my list.
I had a hard time leaving off the ones that are on your list, too. Anyway, Matt Rosenberg and Tim Seeley, Jay Holtham, he'll come up later. Tim Crook, Charlie Adler, and David Lapham. This is from E.C. Oni. This was just so good.
Tyler Crook, not Tim Crook.
Did I write
Tyler Crook? Remember, we were going to do our Tyler episode someday, but we still haven't talked to...
I can't even
which
read
is
my
the Tyler
own
that we
name.
haven't talked to.
It's even written Tyler.
Which is the Tyler that we've talked to Tyler Crook and we've talked to Tyler Boss. There's a Tyler Jenkins. We still need to talk to Tyler Jenkins, and then we need the all Tyler episode.
That would be fun. And then anyway, Black Hammer Spiral City #2 from Jeff Lemire and Teddy Christensen from Dark Horse. This continues the adventures of Inspector Insector.
Yes.
It's so funny. I'm really enjoying it.
Great.
Yep. And then Absolute Batman #3 from Scott Snyder and Nick Dragata from DC. All in, their All In line, whatever that is, has been pretty good.
So, I mean, none of those made my list. Other things that didn't make my list but were amazing.
Yeah.
Godzilla Monsterpiece Theater.
God, that was good.
Batman and Robin Year One.
Mm-hmm.
The Question All Along the Watchtower. New Gods #1. Things that I didn't even manage to read were things like Power Fantasy and Paranoid Gardens, Tin Can Society, Vicarious are all on still my to read list. Minstrel Memories, and despite the fact this is week that we're going 9 innings rather than 3 outs.
Okay.
On the 22 panels podcast to explore, examine, and elevate the medium of baseball. That's what we are, right?
Yeah. It's like...
So String #2 from Paul Tobin. I told you Paul Tobin was going to come up again, and Carlos Javier Oliveras. Are you reading this?
No, I'm not. I should
Oh
definitely
my,
check it out though.
this this is the one where the girl can see the strings coming off
Yeah.
from people. And if it's like a pink string,
Yep.
it connects people that had sex, and if it's a black string, it connects
Murder, I think, right?
um yeah, it connects somebody to their murderer
Yeah.
or somebody to who they're going to murder. And
Something.
this is the issue where, or maybe it was the end of the last issue, but they wind up, they see a black string coming out of her.
Oh.
But when
Okay.
you see it, like, you don't know if it means, is she going to get killed or is she going to kill
Yeah,
somebody?
which end is she on?
Y-
I get it. I'm gonna have to
So
check this
so
out.
yeah, it's fun stuff. And you've got your Global Comics subscription. You can
Yeah.
read it on Global Comics already.
Okay. I gotta find my iPad.
Um, you canceled your Comixology, so if you wanna read this one, you'll have to pay for it. Groupies #3 from Helen Mullane, Tula Lote, and Comixology. This is and first, Tula Lote's art is just amazing.
Always so good.
She did Somna earlier this year. She did Barnstormers with Scott Snyder last year. But this is essentially like rock band groupies and black magic all thrown together. Fun stuff.
Okay.
Fun stuff.
Okay.
The motorcycle jousting we didn't know we needed. Sir #5, the final issue came out from Fellhound and absolutely delivered. Knocking both Wonder Woman and Jenny Sparks, Wonder Woman 16 and Jenny Sparks #5 from Tom King out of that top 3. That's one of the reasons that we had to go beyond 3.
Because you had to include them.
I couldn't leave them out
You can't leave
because
them out.
Wonder Woman had Detective Chimp channeling his inner Columbo, and or since nobody has ever seen Columbo and Detective Chimp in the same place at the
Right.
same time,
Right.
is it possible that Detective Chimp is Columbo in a costume?
It could be. You never
I
know.
suppose the reverse could also be true. Columbo could be Detective Chimp
Yeah.
in a costume. Kind of like the Edgar suit in Men in Black.
Men in Black. Yeah. Maybe. Just maybe.
And Jenny Sparks #5. Oh, I love Jenny Sparks. Tom King's just killing it. Yeah, I don't even know what to say other than it's amazing. Milestone Universe Shadow Cabinet #2 from Joe Illidge and Daryl Banks and Atigan Ilhan. I mean, anybody who listens once a month to the Milestone Book Club knows that we have a great appreciation of Milestone at 22 Panels. Joe Illidge has been around a few times on 22 Panels, so you should also know that we have a great appreciation of Joe Illidge. And there's a reason for this, and we see it all in Shadow Cabinet. More cheating on the list that I was already cheating on to make it 9 rather than 3. At #6 comes Plastic Man No More #4, the final issue, and Challengers of the Unknown #1 from Chris Cantwell and Alex Lins for Plastic Man #4, and from Chris and Sean Isaacs for Challengers of the Unknown. Plastic Man #4.
That was so good.
I don't even know
It
what
was
to say.
so
It
hard
was
to
so
leave
good.
off my list. It was
so
close.
good. Though I'm going to reiterate, and this is why you're at 6 rather than 5 or 4, Chris. It is possible to tell a great story involving Detective Chimp without making
killing him.
and I quote, bones.
Yes.
And Challengers of the Unknown #1 was just also super, 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 super cool.
Yeah.
Which is how, Chris, even though you killed Detective Chimp, and spoiler alert, but that was last issue. That was Plastic Man No More #3. So if you hadn't been reading it, spoil it for you trade waiters, and I'm sorry, but come on, it's been on our list over and over again. What are you waiting for the trade for? And it's not a major plot point. War on Gaza from Joe Sacco at Fantagraphics. Joe Sacco previously written Palestine and Footnotes from Gaza, as well as other war reporting in comic form. War on Gaza is a stunning look at what's going on, and a really pulls no punches in terms of yeah, you should read it.
Okay.
Anybody should read it. War on Gaza. Joe Sacco, Fantagraphics.
Yeah.
Which pushed motherfucking Monsters all the way to 8.
This
Which
was
is the
hard to
other
leave
thing.
off
It
my
would have
list.
been the first. It would have been the first Horizon experience
Yeah.
issue, not to make my top
Yeah.
amazing books of the week. I just
Would've
could
been.
not allow that to happen.
See, I told you Jay Holtham would be coming
Why we
back.
went 9.
Be coming back. Motherfucking Monsters was so good, you guys. I had
Jay Holtham and Michael Lee Harris.
Yeah.
Oh,
I had a tough time leaving him
and
off
then
the list.
and then we cheat some more because number 9 is both Star Trek number 7 from Colin Kelly, Jackson Lansing, Mike Feehan, and Tess Fowler, and Star Trek Lower Decks number 2 from Ryan North and Derek Charm. I got to read one line from that last one just because
Ryan North is freaking awesome.
Ryan North is absolutely amazing. But this line was so amazing that I wound up reading it out loud to my son, who I was talking on the phone while I was reading this comic.
Sure.
Because essentially they come across this alien shape-shifting race that like kidnaps people to turn into reality TV, and it tells them that they're doing reality TV about mentorship, and it's giving them shape-shifting versions of all of their favorite characters, Picard and Janeway and Jadzia Dax, and some great characters from other Star Trek universe spots. But then it turns out that they the way they're going to learn about mentorship is by having them all fight to the death in teams with their mentors. And they're like, well, wait a minute, what does that have to do with mentorship? But it has the perfect line here.
Okay.
Ratings over the last several cycles suggest your aggressive mentors are both charismatic and interesting, while you 5 come across as, and I am quoting here, less good and pretty talky, actually. And then in Ryan North form, there's the bottom of the page note. It says critical consensus of your climactic speech is that it was okay, I guess, but would have been better if delivered while committing a series of murders, or perhaps while outrunning a warp core explosion through a series of deadly corridors.
Okay.
Which is just Ryan North satire to its core,
Right.
and makes it shocking to me that it's sharing the 9th spot on my amazing comics books this week. This is absolutely an example of 2 things. First, platinum era of comics. Second, the week before Christmas, they absolutely load down because they don't want to have big release weeks, Christmas and New Year's week, particularly this year where Christmas Day is a Wednesday and New Year's Day is a Wednesday.
They both are.
And therefore, it's throw off sales quite a bit.
That sucks. So, yeah, speaking of Christmas Day, my local comic store will be getting their books late again, I was told, from Diamond. So I'm hoping by Friday to have mine.
Yeah, I'm going to be stopping in to get what I can get on Thursday before we leave town.
Mm-hmm.
and the rest I'll just get when I get home.
Yeah.
Thankfully, other than Iron Man, most of the stuff that I care the most about next week is actually DC.
Oh,
So
cool.
that'll make it a little bit easier.
True. There's a Batman book coming out that I'm excited for.
Well, but they come in through Lunar, so they're coming in on time.
Yep.
So you're at, as we check in on our One Piece race.
Yeah.
First of all, have you opened your
I gotta find my.
Shonen Jump recently?
No. What do you mean by recent?
Well, today when I opened my Shonen Jump
Okay.
to find out what chapter I was on, it had a message for me telling me that I was in the top 10% of One Piece readers for this year.
Wow. I have not opened it today. It's been a few days.
So apparently in my reading of 337 chapters, that puts me among the top 10% of people in terms of how much One Piece they've read this year.
That's great.
And just think, I was hoping to have read like double that. But
Yeah. What
it happens.
Yeah. I'm at 327.
Who knows? Maybe this week.
And I'm hoping this week.
And I'm at 337. So I think we're both. I finished off the volume, and you, I think, are in the middle of it.
Yep.
And possibly even the beginning of it.
End of the last one, I thought. Anyway,
maybe.
Now my son, he was here for the week, and we were watching One Piece quite a bit. So I'm like getting double.
Getting
One
both.
Piece. Yeah. But I'm way behind in watching it because we recently subscribed to, Crunchyroll.
Crunchyroll?
Yeah,
Okay.
and so I got that for Christmas for the two of us to enjoy because he's getting me into anime, and yeah. So anyway, he just went home today, so this next 2 weeks I'm gonna actually enjoy me time. You know what I mean?
Hey.
Because I can finally focus on something fun.
And
hopefully get
so
some traction.
You're on the shipbuilding island.
Yeah.
But where are you on the shipbuilding island? I don't want to wind up giving up anything away.
Oh,
There's some cool characters on the shipbuilding island.
I don't have my iPad on me.
Or were you still at the train station?
No, I'm at the shipbuilding island. But go ahead, say what you're going to say. I don't really care about getting spoiled. It's totally fine.
Well, have you found out about the ship?
The ship? No.
They say that the merry-go can't be repaired.
Oh no, I haven't got there yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they got to figure out what they're doing.
Yeah.
What to do? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And they're meeting people.
They're always meeting people.
And there's some what's the old the assassin girl that joined their crew might be involved in something here.
Okay.
There's some intrigue going on.
Some intrigue.
And
some espionage, maybe.
And they wind up having there's a crime family in the shipbuilding town that they have a run-in with. So yeah, lots of stuff going on. I'm looking forward to reading more.
I can't wait to I would love to be all caught up just to see what they're at now. You know what I mean? I want to jump ahead and just read a chapter in the 1000 somewhere and just, get a flavor.
I mean, you can do that.
Yeah, I know.
But I would probably feel like I'd read that and go, I have no idea what the fuck I'm just looking at.
I know. That's true. Yeah. But yeah, One Piece, we continue to move forward slowly but surely. But we are still talking about John Allison. This
Yeah,
time,
yeah, we decided to do another week of John Allison, and I could see us coming back to him maybe for a while after. I mean, I know we definitely want to do some Monstrous, and we might want to do some Slaughterverse, and I can think of a handful of other
yeah,
series that we might want to go explore. But I'm also thinking that we might wind up exploring some more John Allison after we get through our best of the year stuff, because I've really been enjoying
it's really fun.
John Allison and Scary Go Round here. It's not quite his first work, but it's early work, and it shows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Not always in good ways, but somehow, even in the places where the art is very primitive,
yeah.
very primitive digital art, the writing is funny enough.
It
The
reminds me
art
of
is
old questionable content when
yeah,
Jeff Jock, is that his name? Jeff
yeah.
Jock. When he was in the infancy of questionable content, it had a similar
Mhm.
flavor to this. You know what I mean?
Right.
Static, right? The characters seemed a little
Mhm.
bit static. Like there's just no fluidity to their movement or their posture. Uh,
Well, but what I will give him that I don't, I mean, I'd have to go back and look at early questionable content before I
sure,
was willing to say this absolutely.
sure.
What I will give him is that he's surprisingly good with expression and body language, even if e- everything else is kind of not detailed.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, he's not good at elbows or hands, but he's good at tilting the body in such a way to show fear or concern or does that make
Or
sense?
yes. Yes, I do see that. I love what you say about not good about elbows and hands. Sometimes
Right.
elbows are super pointy and sometimes they're big
Well, I
loop.
was looking at one arm where it's like her elbow doesn't exist because the arm's straight. That
Yeah.
means there's just no elbow,
Yeah. That's
right?
funny. Yeah.
And like lots of the props are really really simple.
True.
And but even with that, like I'm looking at, do you have yours up?
Yeah.
I'm looking at page 130 right now.
Okay.
Um, and literally I was just flipping through randomly, but if you look at that bottom left corner or bottom left panel, well, it's really bottom panel, but the left side of the bottom panel, the way that Shelley is holding herself
Right.
shows that I mean even though again the elbows are sharp, the hands are mediocre, the hair is it's more of an impression of a wild set of hair than like
Right.
well drawn hair. The room itself is very angular and whatnot, but the way her hands are on the hips, the position of her shoulders, the tilt of her head, her facial expression, all still managed to really get across the
Oh, no doubt. It conveys the message. With
right.
you know,
It goes. I mean, she's saying here, and for that matter, the word balloon here is great.
yeah.
The way that it's the squiggly word balloon. Mr. Percy, I know this is an import export company, but what do we import and export?
Yeah.
and then he's got that perfect like salesman smarmy, arms wide, big fake smile. Every one of these crates is a dream, Miss Winters.
I know. Trying to sell her on the
We're in the
dream of
dream business.
of importing and exporting dreams.
Right.
I think that you're right. That while technically not a technical good artist on the early stuff that we're looking at here, um, but
The
that
comics chops are there in spades.
yes, yes, exactly. Um, the technical ability is going to come later on, uh,
Right.
but
Well, go ahead.
but the ability, like you said, to convey a story through a comic strip is well done.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's like, and we've talked about it a million different ways, a million different times with creators, without creators.
Yeah.
But like, there is a huge difference between storytelling art and fine art.
Yes.
And he shows that even here early on, when it was what he did in the evenings as his hobby, he had massive storytelling skills. You know, these stories are funny. They make sense even if they're weird. You can follow them. They're layered. The characters are relatable and you know what I mean?
Do you
And
remember?
you know what they're thinking and they're feeling and
Did you read Roald Dahl books when you were little, or when you were younger?
what?
Did you read Roald Dahl books when you were younger?
Oh
Well,
yeah.
okay. So the illustrator was Quentin Blake, and for those
Okay.
books, and Quentin Blake's illustrations were so simple. They were barely more than stick figures, yet they were so um so perfect for
Yeah.
conveying the message of Roald Dahl's books. You know, that, and then I see a similar thing here. It's just technical skills are not as important as storytelling skills.
Well, and he sometimes does pretty impressive things with color, even though
For
he's
sure.
using a really simple palette.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, the way he just grays her face and lips and eyes when she's a zombie.
Uh-huh.
You know, the 5 o'clock shadow that one of the characters always has. I can't remember his name right now because I'm terrible with names.
I don't remember either.
I mean, just so. I mean, actually, if I go to the back, I think they've got a character guide, don't they? And he
Mhm.
even talks about him always having that shadow.
Yes, they do.
Is it Tim Jones? No, Ryan Beckwith.
Yeah.
Ryan always has the shadow.
Mm-hmm.
The Flintstone stubble. His hair was meant to look like Paul Westerberg of Trainwreck Minneapolis 80s band The Replacements.
Oh, really? It's funny
Bird's
reference.
nest, but a well-kept nest. Not a squat for swallows or a magpie doss house.
Funny. Awesome. Well, I hate to cut it short, Ted, but I am getting super
No,
tired.
it's time to get going. We should talk about what we think will be spectacular. Next week we'll do our first volume of favorites from the year.
Yeah, that's gonna
Um,
be awesome.
and you know, even what I will say is even with a more limited list of books coming out next week, there are
Some good
some
ones.
impressive ones.
Yeah. Go with your list. What do you
You
hope will
didn't
be
put it on
spectacular?
yours either. Neither one of us wound up putting Metamorpho the Element Man #1
Oh, really?
on our top three. Al Ewing and Steve Lieber, and it looks really cool. They had a preview for it in the back of like every DC comic this week.
Did you
Um,
notice that
and
before you name your books here, did you notice the publishers on yours?
yes, I did.
Okay,
I
okay.
was going to bring that up, but
Okay.
but here's the other thing.
Okay.
Did you see how few books from other publishers are coming out?
Yeah, I did. I did. Yeah, not a
You
lot.
know,
Not a lot. but that's okay. All right,
And
Ted, what 3 books do you hope will be
so,
spectacular?
and to a certain extent, I know they'll be spectacular. I haven't read them, but I mean, these, I couldn't have more faith in these three creative teams. Because we have Black Canary, Best of the Best #2 from Tom King and Ryan Sook. The first issue was out of this world.
I have it here.
As were the first 2 issues of both Absolute Wonder Woman and Iron Man, both of which have issues 3 coming out this week.
Yeah.
Absolute Wonder Woman from Kelly Thompson and Hayden Sherman, and Iron Man from Pulitzer Prize winning journalists Spencer Ackerman and Julius Oda. Tom, Kelly, and Spencer have all been on 22 panels. Tom and Kelly multiple times. Spencer hopefully will be back soon. But also it's a good trade waiter week. Because you got Buy a Thread, which was the Comixology book that Scott Snyder did with his son Jack, and Valerio Favacchio on art. Dawn Runner from Ram V and Evan Cagle. Dick Tracy from Alex Segura, Michael Marisi, Chantel Amy Osman, and Geraldo Borges. Heart Piercer from Richard Dueck and Gavin Smith. And I Heart Skull Crusher Volume 1 from Josie Campbell and Alessio Zano. So, yeah.
Yeah, those are
not as
good.
big of a week.
No.
Not as big of a week. Oh, and Detective from Richard Ashley Hamilton, Marco Matrone at Maverick, and a King Arthur book that I hadn't seen before, but it looks pretty cool. It focuses on the ladies of the lake from Vincent Pompetti at Black Panel Press. So even in a light week, we got some really, and I didn't even miss friend of the podcast, Chris Condon, Green Arrow #19.
Oh yeah,
with Montos. His first issue on Green Arrow was fantastic. I'm really looking forward to seeing where that goes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, even with a much smaller week, there's a crap ton of good stuff.
Yeah, there's a new comic coming up from J.G. Jones and Phil Brom called Dust to Dust that I'm looking forward to.
That looks good.
Image. I'm really liking what Jeff Loeb is doing in Batman: The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween. This is issue 4 with Eduardo Risso. And then Hello Darkness. We've got Garth Ennis, Robert Hack, Justina Ireland, Steve Orlando, Becky Cloonan, Robert Hack, and various others. And then as far as artists, we've got Valentine de Landro, Adam Gorham, and this is all out from Boom.
Yep.
Yeah,
good stuff.
Yeah, literally looking forward to that.
Stuff.
I'm really enjoying. I keep saying it, but these anthologies are very cool.
We're having great. It's a great anthology, Comic Life.
Yeah,
I'm glad that they've become a thing that sells well enough to do more of.
I enjoy the one and done stories better. Like
do too.
Hello Darkness is doing the kind of the chapter by chapter, and
it's doing a mix.
Yeah,
but
I'm enjoying with the other series that we mentioned earlier. I can't think of the title of it though. Abyss, Epitaphs from the Abyss. The
Epitaphs from the Abyss.
Yeah, the one-off stories. Yeah.
Something that I've noticed with reading the Heavy Metal Book Club too. With a good anthology, as long as it's not too expensive, like if there are 2 stories that I really like, I feel like I got my money's worth.
Yeah.
In fact, I might feel like I got my money's worth more than a good single issue that's part of a bigger story. Where it's like, I paid $4 to get part 3 of 7.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not really a standalone thing. So yeah, I love that we're seeing more of these. I hope they do well. I hope that it's
an ongoing,
obviously not a new thing, because it's what EC used to be their bread and butter. But continuing thing in comics.
Yeah, I totally agree. Awesome. Well,
Alrighty.
we better get
I think we're
going.
falling asleep.
I am. I literally am. I'm such an old man.
I've been sliding down the wall the whole episode.
I've
went from
noticed
sitting
that.
up to laying down.
Yeah, your face is lower and lower on my screen. It's funny. Oh, anyway,
Hi.
guys out there, thanks for joining us, and we will catch you guys after the next page. Thanks. Later. Hey guys, this is Tyler from 22 Panels. I'm here to tell you all about our Patreon. If you enjoy this show, please consider donating to our Patreon to keep this show going. We have many different tiers, all different levels to help you decide what's right for you. Okay, so get on out there to patreon.com/22 Panels Podcast.